Welcome to Foreign Policy presented by YTV Shows with me, your host, Swecha Sangrola. On this show where we create a platform to think and talk about foreign policy from a holistic perspective. Foreign Policy is that show where we as individuals can create a voice and cause an impact on the decisions that affect us and the world. The new international order has been marked by a remarkable shift from survival diplomacy to economic diplomacy. The need of the hour of Nepal is sustainable socio-economic growth. This is where the role of consuls come in. Our guest for today, Mr. Basantiraj Mishra, is Executive Chairman of Temple Tiger Group of Companies and is the Honorary Consul for Chile to Nepal and is also the Dean of Consuls Corps. Let me take this opportunity to welcome him on the show. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being appointed as the Dean of the Consuls Corps. We've known that you've had a very, very long time as the Honorary Consul of Chile, some 18 years as you mentioned.
Yes.
Let me begin by asking you how the journey began, you as essentially as a business person. Is that right to call you? How did the journey begin?
All right. Like what we say is, whatever is lotted, that is blotted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be, in fact, engineer, a mechanical engineer. That is what I was prepared for. That is what I studied. But eventually I landed up in tourism. And I started my career in 1977. And now I have more or less established all the segments that is required for tourism, like hotel, resorts, apartment, trekking company, a destination management company, etc. And I've been involved in this business for many years. Apart from this, I do have other business as well, but tourism is my core business.
So you, what was the stepping point from essentially being a business person mainly into venture tourism, as you've called it, to being the Honorary Consul of Chile? Why Chile exactly?
Okay, that's a very good question. Like, I was also working in some other business as well, which led me to meet a couple of Chilean people. And then I was highly impressed with them, with their business policy, with their open economy policy. And then a couple of times we had interaction. Then I happened to meet some bureaucrats as well from the government of Chile. And then they were very business-minded. They were studying every country. So they knew Nepal could be in one day a good market for them. So they decided to appoint Honorary Consul for Nepal. And they approached me and I said, why not? Because Chile is one of the richest countries in South America. And it has a very good business policy, and it has the longest and the strongest political stability. Therefore I decided fine. And then there are two other candidates as well. So I was chosen and I was very happy to represent it. And you can see it, like you rightly said in your introduction, it is an era of economic diplomacy. So it's not the era of political diplomacy. You do have to do your day-to-day work. But at the same time, your focus is always how to strengthen your economic responsibility, economic diplomacy, how to sell something, how to market your product, how to enlarge trading. So like most of the people in Nepal, they haven't heard about Chile.
Absolutely.
But once we appointed as an Honorary Consul General, you could see that, we promoted so many things from Chile to Nepal. And likewise, we also promoted Nepalese handicrafts, carpets, tourism to Chile, tourism from Chile, and carpets, handicraft from Nepal to Chile. If you go to any supermarket now, the best example I can give you is, you can find Chilean wine in every shop. Do you think anybody would have thought that the Nepal will import Chilean wine all the way from Chile to here? And similarly, most of the copper that comes to Nepal, many people are not aware of it. It comes from Chile. And Chile produces one of the best copper in the world.
How do you assess the relationship between Nepal and Chile? The potential has been largely untapped, and you've also mentioned some very good examples from wine, from Chile to many other examples. But most people in Nepal, it is undoubtedly true, that haven't heard of this country, or if they have, don't know what relations we have with them. So, given this untapped potential, how has your company Temple Tigers emerged as a bridge between Nepal and Chile?
Well, I would say that if you put it, the consulate of Chile in Nepal and the relation between Chile and Nepal, how it emerged, that would be the appropriate thing to say. Let me tell you this way. First of all, I was quite impressed with the program that you are conducting. It is very new, and it will give an opportunity to many common people to know what is the role of consul generals and consuls in Nepal. The first thing, I think, what we're doing, so congratulations for it. Like in South America, it is completely a new virgin market for us, right? Because look, why our other business or our trading has not been so successful? Because we always continued our business with the established market only. Whether it's the import of carpets, or pashmina, or garments, handicrafts, or even tourism, right? We call it traditional market, like Germany, France, Italy, UK, America, and so on. So South America is totally an untapped market for Nepal. And then when we established our relation in the form of consulate of Chile in Nepal, the Chilean people have seen the market potential of Nepal. Similarly, then we started talking about, okay, South America is untapped market, we have to have something, we should have our embassy at least somewhere. As a result of it, the government established first embassy in Brazil. And then I have a piece of paper right there, which is when it's a news from Kathmandu Post. Like our government, our embassy of Brazil and the Chilean government signed an agreement saying that they will employ about 800 to 1200 Nepalese citizens, and the minimum salary will be $850 to $1,200. If they continue to work for 4 years, they can apply for permanent residency as well. And then they have offered certain scholarship, but the only problem is with their scholarship is first you have to go and study Spanish language, because all their books, everything is based on Spanish. And then similarly they said that okay, they will allow us duty free as a privilege for our goods to go. They'll give us a special consideration. They won't charge any duty so that we can compete easily. So these kind of relations have been maintained. And many people, like, what is our job? What is the job of a consular in Nepal? That is, it is, as per Vienna Convention in diplomacy, we do exactly the same thing what the embassy does. And we've been recognized by our government, and we have a very cordial relation with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that is our line ministry. So what we are focused, especially like many countries have their different priorities, but the Republic Government of Chile always wants to extend and expand, especially in economic diplomacy. And they are always ready to help. And it's not one way. They just don't want to promote everything from Chile. No. They have such a good foreign, a policy. If anything can be bought cheaper, and if matches the quality, any Chilean traders can import anything from anywhere, any part of the world. And few of our business friends They did a business with Chile and they're very happy. And they said that it is one of the best country to do with Chile. They are focused, like if you know Chile, it's a very interesting country.
Absolutely.
It is a long, long country, okay, if you look at the map. And the length is, you'll be surprised, it's as long as, say, okay, you know Micah very well. So from San Francisco to New York, okay? And the difference between the breadth and the length of the country, the breadth is 18 times smaller than the length. And the length.
A very long country.
A very long
very
country.
Long country.
So, somehow or other, they have a political 1810, they become independent from Spain. And since then, they become a republic. And they always believe in an open economy. Okay, it's a free economy, free trade zone, and they are very strong believers, as you have mentioned, on a sustainable growth for everything. So to have a relation with them, and now our Nepalese people who are working with them, like we have to recommend them for visa and others, and I always ask them, how is it? The only problem they face is the language in the beginning. And otherwise, they said, perks, facilities, salary, working environment, they are very happy. So the core point that what you've started discussing and what I'm trying to tell you is, now we have to focus on these countries. They have a tremendous growth in economy. They got a lots of disposable income. So we have not promoted, say, tourism or trade with them. Maybe we can even encourage for a direct foreign investment in Nepal. So what they call it ABC, that is called Argentina, Brazil and Chile. These three are the most strongest country. And now we have the embassy, it will be easy for us to work also, and we have a media like you who are talking about different countries. So this is the right time to explore. So we are thinking, in fact, to take a group of a businessmen comprising of people from industry, people from trading, tourism, and any other interested, to go to visit these countries and promote and showcase our products in these countries. So I'm sure that that will able to market our product and tourism in these countries.
It's interesting because this is one area where the government of Nepal should also be stepping in. I personally believe that we've been afflicted by the yam syndrome, the whole idea of being between Nepal and India and China for so long that we've forgotten how we are really going to reach out to other countries in the world. And this is where the government of Nepal should play a strong role. And you've mentioned that there's a lot of risk involved, there's a lot of risks to be made personally. So how do you assess the role of government? Do you think it's too much of a burden for the government to ask something like that? Or do you think we've just not got our priorities right? What is your assessment of that?
No, I'll put it in a different way. I will say that, okay, because we are a business people, we take the risk. We take the loan from the bank, we create the job, we pay tax to the government. And what we expecting from the government is only a cordial working environment. That is what is our expectation. We don't want anything more than that. So we don't want any perks or any facilities or anything. But having said it, as you have mentioned, time has changed. But we want our Brazilian embassy to work as a facilitator, and then we will work closely with him. But as far as expenses or financial matters concerned, we all will bear it. We don't ask for the government, but we just want good working environment and support. And that is exactly what my role is as a consular of Chile in Nepal. I always act as a facilitator. I put two business groups together and create an environment so that they can do business. That is my role. Apart from my other diplomatic day-to-day work, my major role is, okay, put two groups together, two interested parties together, and let them discuss, let them decide, and then do their business.
Absolutely. You've mentioned that you're also a dean of the Council Corps.
Mhm.
I'm very much interested in knowing what your daily, an average day looks like. What is them? What do you really do? What is the mandate? I'm really interested in knowing how you
Okay.
balance being an executive chairman of Temple
Mhm.
Tiger and a dean of Council Corps and everything. How do you
Well,
manage it?
apart from that, well, I wear different hats in tourism, and in international level as well as in local level. But as a dean, how we are selected is on a seniority wise. I was surprised. I was in the United States, and then I got a call. She said that you become a dean. I said that do you think I'm that old? They said, well, your turn has come, because many of them left in between, and then as a seniority wise, and it is of 1 year. The duration of your deanship is 1 year. So during that time, what we do is, we like to do exactly the same thing what you have done. We want to let people, what are the roles, what are the risks, what are their contribution. The deans are not, the councils are not picked up just like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, the country always looks at his ability, financial ability, his intellectual strength, his networking capacity, his international level of thinking. Then only he is selected. And now, Nepal, whether with the good news or whether with the bad news, whatever it is, Nepal is well known in the world. There were so many places when we used to go and say we are from Nepal. They used to say, are you from Naples, Italy? No.
Absolutely, yep.
Now Nepal is well known. We have our brand name. And lots of people have seen lots of opportunities, lot of countries. And as we've discussed in the beginning, every country thinks of their economic opportunities. So they all are approaching Nepal, and they said that, okay, how are we going to establish our relationship with Nepalese government? So they said that, okay, fine, let us have first our honorary consulate. Let's start like that. Like if you recall, Brazil also used to have a honorary consulate out here. And then they established their embassy.
Absolutely.
That is their beginning. So, we are very much known in our hydropower, in tourism, in many agriculture products. So the interest of various foreign countries, I think probably you know better than I do, but if I am correct, there are more than 250 countries in the world. Okay, so many countries are interested to establish a kind of relationship with Nepal in order to expand business relationship, in order to have the economic ties. So you've seen that we were, I think when I was honorary consul, I was what number 18, 19, 20, or 21. Now we have 35, and many are in the pipelines, many are in the queue. And this is always good for the country. All the consul generals cannot do the same thing what one has done. Some are doing very well. They have a very strong economic ties. The trading, tourism portion is much bigger, and others are doing maybe smaller. Some countries are strong, some countries are stable, some countries are not that much. But still, they always have promoted Nepal to some extent. Anything they could do.
Absolutely. There is another thing that I'm curious to know about is, have you ever, while working as an honorary consul, experienced a situation where there was a clash of interests in any way? Well, foreign policy is all about the art of balancing national interests in protecting them and also in promoting them. And I want to know if there have been instances, for example, the clash between interests are apparent, for example, in Brazil right now with the FIFA World Cup and the locals protesting about it. It's pretty obvious that it happens in many places. Have you experienced any personal experience
Okay,
where
please clarify your question. You're talking about within the country's conflict or between Nepal and the country that we represent?
in a sense with Nepal and with Chile in that regard?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Because number one, we really don't deal in that level. Okay. And the other thing is, there is no need. They don't have any such interest where there could be any kind of conflict. Okay. Because both the countries are very friendly countries, and they want to promote their economic activities, their tourism, and Chile is very keen to help Nepal as a developing country any way he could, any way he could. So, no, we haven't faced anything. But sometimes, if there is any problem, like you give an example of Brazil, what the Brazilian embassy will do here in Nepal is exactly whatever he is told by his government, and he'll totally work in the interest of his government.
Absolutely.
That's it. No, we don't have any conflict as such.
That's very nice to know. We've come to the end of our interaction. I would like to know if there is any positive message that you would like to give out to our audience, particularly young audiences who are thinking at this moment, how is it that we are going to approach someone like you? How is it that I, as a young person, can contribute to developing relations between Nepal and Chile? What kind of message would you like to give to the audience?
That's a very good question you've asked. We just had actually an interaction with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Consul Corps, because the reason why we had this interaction is we wanted to clarify all our misunderstanding, if we have any, not because we had, to know each other better.
Absolutely.
And had I known that you used to run this program, I would definitely have invited you there and you would have learned a lot. Having said it, one of the reasons to have that interaction is exactly to address the question that you raised. Many people are not aware of it. They think, okay, these guys are having a flag, these guys are having a blue-plated car and going around, and they're not helping us. No. All the Consul General and Consul's office is open for any young people to get any kind of information. Now the one thing is you can get all the information through web.
True.
Okay. But still, if they would like to know on any issues, any opportunities about in regards to studies, in regards to trade, business, anything, okay, the environmental issues, we will be more than happy to see them anytime. Not only me, on behalf of all honorary consul and consul generals, as a dean, you can tell any of your youth, they are always welcome. If they need any information, even if we don't have it in hand, we can always get it from there and give it to them.
Absolutely. As a signal of the clock ticking from Gantagar, which is very nearby your office, I'd have to say that we've come to the end of the program. Thank you so much for being our guest and clarifying some very important things about how approachable consuls are in Nepal and what role they have regarding economic diplomacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking all the time and meeting us and finding our names. In the meantime, you're welcome.
It's all our pleasure.